Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the NITOC Nightly News. I'm your host, Micah Diaz, and we've got a lot to touch on today. We started early off in the morning, 7:30 a.m. We had some more worship that was brought to us by David Trent, a local worship pastor here in Jackson. And then we had another wonderful devotion with Chris Calhoun, who talked about in essence, the big picture. He gave the story of Elisha and then equated that to being able to see through God's eyes, understanding the big picture. And his message to us as competitors and even parents is that the accolades that we will possibly achieve and win here at national tournaments and other tournaments throughout the season, at the end of the day, those physical things, cups, trophies, they don't actually matter. What matters is the experiences that we have, the growing in our faith, and the ability to defend our faith, the ability to share the gospel, and the ability to grow spiritually through our failures or our shortcomings, our humanity. His devotion was able to touch our hearts. And if you are interested in watching it, as well as the 6 Ways to Ruin NITOC devotion that was talked about yesterday, these are all streamed. They are available on the YouTube. So make sure you go back and watch them there. Next, we had Stoa board member Mary Winther come up and give an amazing talk on our pillar number 1, which is that Stoa is a private Christian homeschool league. Now, it was kind of addressing the elephant in the room, the temptation that Stoa should grow in a way as to include people who are not like public schooled, but who are not privately homeschooled. And she gave the message that at the end of the day, we want people to realize that homeschooling is a right that needs to be protected. Parents need to be able to have the choice to educate their children in a way that is good, in a way that follows Jesus Christ, in a way that they can control. And the government does not like the nuclear family. They do not want us to be able to control what we teach our children. And as such, she gave a speech on that. And here's what's really, really cool. The HSLDA, or the Homeschool Legal Defense Association, knows what she said. They saw that speech, and they are offering anyone who becomes a lifetime member 50% off that lifetime membership subscription. 50% off, simply because we are defending the right to homeschool. So that link will be posted in the Stoa NITOC website pretty soon. Please sign up for that and fight for the right to homeschool your children. Another announcement that was talked about was the yearbook signing, the autograph book signing event that happened at 7:30 at the Bold. Here at this event, you were able to get some signatures from your fellow competitors, get some autographs. Who knows, those signatures might be worth a lot in the future, or the connections that you made might be professional in the future, or might help you in a time of need in the future. For example, when I drive across the country, since I went to school here, I had to drive across several times. And a lot of the places that I stayed, in places like Texas or Colorado, I stayed at people's houses who I had met and known from my Stoa connections. So don't take your connections and your friendships here in Stoa for granted, because they can very well serve you well in the future. And of course, you can serve other people well in the future based off of these relationships. All right, now for what's happening tomorrow. Again, we're starting bright and early at 7:30 a.m., another devotion, another talk on one of the pillars of Stoa. And then, this is really exciting and maybe scary for some of y'all, breaks happen at 3 p.m. And I just want to touch on this really quickly because obviously we all want to break. And let me just remind you that if you do not break, we are all still incredibly proud of you. And many of you who, if you do not break, will have opportunities to learn from the ballots that you get and to come back even stronger next year. And for those of you who it's your last year and you're riding on this opportunity, remember what we talked about in our devotion today. Maybe God has a different purpose for you. Maybe He is saying no to you now so He can say yes to something even bigger for you tomorrow. So just keep that in mind as you guys are humble and you are professional when you hear whether or not you have broken to the out rounds at NITOC. Also, tomorrow we have 2 different ceremonies that are happening at 7:30 p.m. What's happening in the chapel at 7:30 p.m. is the Founders Night and the Seniors Recognition Night. In the past, they have not done both of these events at the same time, but they decided to combine them. So hopefully that will go really well. And we're gonna take some time to honor the seniors who are about to go out into the world and to honor those who have been able to qualify in one of every type of event in Stoa for the Founders Award. At the same time, however, the alumni, my brethren, we are going to be meeting in Hammonds. Where is Hammonds, you ask? Well, Hammonds is actually the building that will be closest to the Starbucks. It's a standalone building. It really hasn't been used at all for any competition, except for when, well, I'll just show you. Well, I think this is the room. Yep, that's the room. Anyway, so while the Stoa alumni meet is happening at Hammonds Hall at 7:30 p.m., the Founders and Senior Recognition Night will happen at 7:30 in the chapel, and then after they will move to the Bold to get some cake. It's a cake reception. It's going to be absolutely delicious. We will see you there for that. Oh, and did I tell you, Stoa alumni, that we have a gift for you? Some cool knickknacks that you can take home and remember this event by. And speaking of gifts, if you haven't had the chance to stop by the dining hall right outside of it in the Lex, the Stoa Marketplace, please do. We have a plethora of different gifts for you there. And I mean, this could be a gift for your debate partner, for your duo partner, for your kids, for your parents, for your grandparents, extended family, maybe for a faculty member you just appreciate so much. We've got things like hats and shirts, and we have NITOC 2024 merch that is left over. If you didn't get some, please get some now. We have luggage tags and all sorts of different accessories. And they're really, really cheap. Only a couple dollars. A great gift for someone that you love or for yourself. So make sure you stop by and get your hands on some more Stoa merch. For example, this hat, there's only a limited number of them. We only have a few left. A lot of you saw these and decided to cop them. You need to keep doing that. Buy two, buy a white one and a black one so you can match them to different outfits. We want to see you representing Stoa through many different ways. So make sure you visit the Stoa merch in the Lex, in that Stoa Marketplace. And speaking of Marketplace, at the moment we have our silent auction. As you can see in the video that's playing right now, we have all sorts of gifts that you can win. Now here is the kicker. All of these gifts are completely one-of-a-kind, unique. If you win it, you'll be the only person to have those gifts. A great example is this shirt. It says Stoa Speech and Debate Top Secret. This is mine. It's the only one that exists. In fact, here, let me put it on. I think it looks great. Anyways, you can pick up your very own one-of-a-kind type items at the Stoa auction. You might be asking, how do I get to the silent auction? Well, take a look at this video. There's a QR code, and there will be QR codes all throughout those tables. Every product has their own paper. You'll click that QR code and it will take you to the silent auction where you can bid. And remember, the money that is coming from these bids are being donated to Stoa to be able to help us to continue to serve Christ and to expand the league in a way that is Christ-like. So make sure you get your hands on some of this one-of-a-kind Stoa merch. Now, judges, it's time for us to have a little chat. So you guys have been killing it in your judging this week. Many of our rooms, the entire first round of the day of speech events, are getting 3 judges per room, which is absolutely amazing. But we're slacking a little bit as we go through the evening. And trust me, I understand. These tournaments are tiring. You've got kids that are competing. You're running around trying to watch them or judge. You guys are just exerting out so much energy, which we're appreciative of. But we still need 100% dedication, even in the late afternoons, in the evenings. If we're going to provide an ideal situation for our students, we want them to have 3 judges per speech round, regardless of what room it is. Now you might be thinking, well, 2 is enough, but from a competitor's perspective, because I had to deal with this too in some of the tournaments when I was competing, is that 2 judges is great. It's better than 1, it's better than 0, but at the same time, there's just something magical about a 3rd judge. We want as many constructive opinions as possible. So please make sure you do your part and you judge that extra round. Even if you're tired, just judge that extra round. Who knows, maybe the speaker will compel you enough to stay awake and they will persuade you on something that you've never even thought about before. So give your attention to the rest of the evening. And remember guys, the more rounds you judge, the more likely you are to get a prize. Remember, 18 rounds, only 3 rounds per day. So do us all a favor and just put in a little extra effort to judge that last round. And we'll take care of you. We've got snacks, we've got drinks. We are going to make sure that you have the energy that you need and you have the refreshments that you need. We'll take care of you. Make sure you judge that last round. Now, there's something else I wanted to remind you of. I had to give an announcement yesterday that we're not cleaning up after ourselves. And when I went into lunch today, well, I found some more evidence of this. A couple cups left all by their lonesome. Now guys, a cup is even easier to carry than a plate. So please make sure that when you are done, even if you think you're not done and you just, oh, well, I'm already at the exit, so I'm gonna leave anyways. If you are full, if you are heading towards that exit, even if you're gonna come back, just put your plates away. Put your plates and your dishes and your garbage on that conveyor belt next to that wall. Put your stuff away. Clean up after yourself. Make Union want NITOC back here in Jackson. So thank you guys so much for that. And lastly, I just wanted to remind y'all that we have a prayer room in the Student Union building, just a couple feet away from the dining hall. Prayer is one of the most important things that we can do in our relationship with Christ. And there are a lot of things that we need prayer over this week. Prayer for good weather, prayer for your students, your kids, or even your parents and their sanity as they, try to judge more and more rounds. We need prayer, and there's no small prayer, y'all. God wants to hear about it all. If you are hurting or if you need someone to pray with you, if you just need to sit in silence with someone knowing that they're there for you, please go to the prayer room. We have someone in there almost at all times who is willing to pray over you, pray with you, be silent with you, hear what you have to say, worship with you. It's just a great opportunity to just take a step back from the world and just get in the presence of God. So remember that there's a prayer room in the Student Union building. And thank you to those who are staffing that prayer room and helping with the supplication of others. It is just absolutely a godsend to have everyone there. So thank you guys so much. Anyways, that is going to be it, y'all. Thank you so much for watching these videos. It really means a lot to me and it means a lot to Stoa. We want to make sure that you guys are having a fun time here at NITOC, that you know what's going on, you know where you're supposed to go. And so if you have any ideas or you want to see something in the NITOC Nightly News, if you find me, because I'm usually running around somewhere, make a suggestion. We'll see what we can do for you. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. My name is Micah. Have a wonderful evening, Stoa.